Hello everybody, my name is Sajal and today I'm going to talk about DS-28. That was the first case ever brought to the WTO's dispute settlement body based on the TRIPS agreement. So DS-28, it dealt with Japan measures concerning sound recordings. So let's begin. On 9th February 1996, United States requested for consultation. So the permanent mission of the United States, they requested for consultation to the permanent mission of Japan and the dispute settlement body of the WTO. Now, in the maroon color, I have highlighted what is meant by the permanent mission. So you can read it for your understanding. Now, United States requested for consultation under Article 4.4 of the DSU, which states that any member states of the WTO, they can request for consultation and the same shall be notified to the DSP. So now let's move ahead. Now the first question that comes up is that why United States even requested for consultation, right? Now here is the para that I have written that has been taken from the official document from the WTO. That was uploaded over there pertaining to this particular case, which is DS-28. So you can read it, but many viewers or many students, you can say, they can find this para quite complicated. So I have break down the requirements into the simplest form into my next slide. So let's go into that slide. The WTO members, they are expected to provide protection for performances and sound recordings, adhering to certain minimum standards for the duration of such protection. So here is the breakdown of this requirement. There are basically three requirements: scope of protection, duration of protection, and the extension for existing works. Now, under the scope of protection, the protection applies to two main categories: past performances and existing sound recordings. Now, the duration of protection, WTO members, they are required to protect these performances and sound recordings for at least 50 years, which is counted from the end of the calendar year in which the performance occurred or the sound recording was first fixed. Now coming to the third important requirement, which is extension for existing works. Now this 50-year minimum term of protection should also apply to sound recordings that haven't yet received full protection in either the country of origin or the country where protection is sought. Now this extension ensures that even older works which may not have initially received a full term of protection are granted sufficient coverage under WTO standards. Now let's move ahead. Additionally, there was another factor that the TRIPS agreement obligates all members of the WTO organization to grant certain civil rights and remedies in sound recordings that was originating in other WTO members or created by nationals of other WTO members, to generally provide national and most favored nation treatment to such sound recordings, and to provide criminal procedures and penalties for the commercial piracy of sound recordings, which Japan was not adhering to. The previous slide and this additional slide. So Japan was not adhering to, and Japan being a developed country and also the member of the WTO was obligated to apply these obligations since 1st January 1996. And because Japan was not adhering to all those criteria, the two important criteria that I have mentioned in my previous two slides, therefore it was violating the TRIPS agreement. And Japan appeared to be inconsistent with the TRIPS agreement, and it violated Articles 3, 4, 14, 61, 65 and 70, and I have mentioned what these articles talks about. You can see that these articles talks about national treatment, most favored nation treatment, criminal procedures and so on. So you can take a read of the same. Now moving forward. On 22nd February 1996, the European communities communicated to join the consultation. Therefore, permanent delegation of the European Commission, they communicated to the permanent missions of the United States, permanent missions of Japan, and DSB, which is Dispute Settlement Body, to join the consultation under Article 4.11 of DSU, which states that whenever a member, other than the consulting members, which in this case is the United States, considers that it has a substantial trade interest, then such member, which is in this case the European communities, may notify the consulting members, which is the United States and Japan and the DSB, to join the consultation. Now moving forward. So the question that comes up is why European communities wanted to join the consultation. The European communities and the member states, they had a substantial trade interest, and because of that they wanted to join the consultation, because in the Japanese market there were numbers of unauthorized copies of European recordings that were falling into the period in question, and therefore European communities requested the United States, Japan, and DSB to join the consultation. Now, in a communication dated 29 February 1996, Japan informed the DSB, which is Dispute Settlement Body, that it had accepted the request of the European communities to join consultation, which the government of the United States had requested with Japan. Now, coming to the current status of this particular case, the governments of the United States of America and Japan, they reached a mutually satisfactory solution concerning this particular matter, concerning the protection of past performances and existing sound recordings under the TRIPS agreement. Therefore, on 26th December 1996, the government of Japan promulgated amendments to the Japanese copyright law intended to protect the above stated protection to past performances and existing sound recordings, and these amendments were scheduled to come into effect before the end of March 1997. Now, based on these developments, Japan and the United States have agreed to terminate consultations on this matter, and the United States wished formally to withdraw this matter. So this is all about the current status of DS-28. I hope you liked this detailed video about this unique case, which is DS-28. And if you want to see more content like this, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you.